In our previous video about frequency distribution table, we discussed about the ungrouped frequency distribution. Now in this video, we will be focusing on the group frequency distribution, wherein the sample size is more than 30. But before we continue, let us familiarize the different terms used in group frequency distribution table. When we say lower class limit, that is the smallest data value that can be included in the class. However, the upper class limit, that is the largest data value. When we say class boundaries, these are used to separate the classes so that there are no gaps in the frequency distribution. And class marks, that is the midpoint of the classes or the average. And lastly, the class width. That is the difference between the two consecutive lower class limits. So let us use this sample group frequency distribution to illustrate these terms. So let us focus on the class interval. When we say lower class limit, so these are the numbers in our class interval on the left. So like 21, 16, 11, 6, and 1, they are the smallest data value that can be included in the class. On the other hand, the upper class limit are the numbers on the right. They are the largest data. As you notice, there are 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. They are the largest data value in each classes. When we say class boundaries, these are used to separate the classes so that there are no gaps in the frequency distribution. So to get the class boundaries, we will just subtract 0.5 to the lower class limit. Let's say 21 minus 0.5, that is 20.5. Now to get the upper class boundary, so we will now add 0.5. So 25 plus 0.5, you will get 25.5. And this is how we get the class boundaries. So that is also true to the other classes. So to get the lower class boundaries of this class, so 16 minus 0.5, that is 15.5. 11 minus 0.5, that is 10.5. 6 minus 0.5, that is 5.5. 1 minus 0.5, that is 0.5. To get the upper class boundaries, 20 plus 0.5, that is 20.5. 15 plus 0.5 is 15.5. 10 plus 0.5 is 10.5. And lastly, 5 plus 0.5 is 5.5. And these are the class boundaries. When we say class mark, that is the midpoint of the classes or the average. And this is how it is solved. Just simply add the lower limit and the upper limit, then divide it by 2, and you will get the class mark. For example, in this class, so the lower limit is 21, the upper limit is 25. Just simply add them. 21 plus 25 is 46. Then divide it by 2, and that is 23. And that will be the class mark of this class. So in the next class, 16 plus 20, that is 36, divided by 2 is 18. So it's just the same process. 11 plus 15 is 26, divided by 2, that is 13. 6 plus 10 is 16, divided by 2, that is 8. 1 plus 5 is 6, then divided by 2, that is 3. And lastly, for the class width, so that is the difference between the two consecutive lower class limits. So in here, our two examples of consecutive lower class limits are 6 and 1. So their difference, 6 minus 1 is 5. And this is our class width. So even though you're going to find the difference of the next consecutive, like 11 minus 6, 16 minus 11, or 21 minus 16, they will get the same class width.